What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And I was supposed to talk about this one a while ago because I had one of my subscribers asking me about this a long time ago. She's like, okay, I get it. It's 2021. Most people are hoeing. Most people, banging everybody. But what happens if you're a virgin? You get what I'm saying? Like, what do you do then? I would go as far to say that if I had to guess, about 10% of women are still virgins. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me. A lot of people are going to say that's too high, but I don't think that that's too high. I think that that's pretty accurate. So about 10% of women, and I'm going to tell you something that's really going to catch y'all off guard. All right, so we talk about the 80-20 rule, men being left out of the dating place and all this type of stuff all the time. But in the most recent study, it's found that 30% of men, 24 and below, have never had sex with a woman. Okay, so it's a lot of dudes now getting left out of the marketplace too. That's why I called this one Semen Retention and Celibacy, How to Date as a Virgin. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys my advice, for if you're going to go out here into this wild, wild west of dating with pretty much no experience, honestly, if you're a virgin. I mean, you might have a little bit of relationship experience, but pretty much no experience. All right, so rule number one, all right, I think virgins should stay with virgins. All right, I repeat, I think virgins should stay with virgins. If you guys pay a lot of attention to what I say in relationships, a lot of things are about being equally yoked. If you have kids and your partner doesn't have kids, it's probably not going to work out. If your partner is a six-figure earner or a millionaire and you're like a low-income earner, 30,000 or something like that, it's probably not going to work out. You have a higher probability that it will if you're a woman, but even then, it's probably still not going to work out. If one person is a freak and the other person is not, it's probably not going to work out, which brings us back to talking about virgins. If you're a man and you're a virgin, and you date a woman who is not a virgin, it's not going to help you at all. That's just me being real with you. You better have some money or some muscles or something else going on, because women like to be led in general, and that does not change in the bedroom. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what hole is supposed to go in, you don't know when to be rough, and you don't know when to be soft, you don't know where to lick, what to twist, what to pull, what to turn, it's going to dry them up faster than the Sahara Desert. It's going to be a tumbleweed rolling all through that vagina, and it ain't going to work out right. All right, as a woman, you deal with a dude who, like I said, he got a freaky past. He done had women swinging from chandeliers. They done slurped it sideways, upside down, double hand twist. They done threw it back. And he gonna put you in there, and you like Patrick from SpongeBob. You doing a 5-star hand split. It's probably not gonna work out. Being equally yoked is majorly important, okay? So I would highly suggest you date another virgin. And also, chances are, now, this is not necessarily the same when we talk about the guys, but especially for the women, chances are, if you got all the way to the age of like 22, 23, 24, 30, or whatever the case may be, and you're still a virgin, that means there's probably something religious or spiritual that's pushing you. Now, again, like I said, with a lot of these guys, they're involuntary celibate, a lot of them, so they've been trying, it's just not been working. But especially for the women, a lot of the time, this is an intentional thing, because it's not hard for women to get laid. So this is an intentional thing. If you're going to intentionally save your virginity, right, for your husband, why would you want to give that virginity to a man who didn't intentionally save himself for you? Okay, now I'm not saying your husband necessarily has to be a virgin, but that's where I put into the same rules that I add in the women a lot, where I say if your dude is too much past 10, is probably like my max, I wouldn't deal with him. Again, you've been working your whole life avoiding temptation. You probably had way finer men, way more financially stable men, whatever the case may be, coming. You've been turning them all down, saving yourself. You should get someone who's been saving himself in that same way too, or at least values that in that same way. Because what happens is, a lot of guys just want a virgin for an ego. Okay, they just want someone who hasn't been touched because it helps their ego. You know what I'm saying? They don't think they can really lay the pipe. They don't really think that they look that good. They don't really think that they're really that big, built up, or whatever the case may be. So they want to get someone with a lack of experience who won't really notice all of those things. So what you will realize, and I tell women this all the time, guys will play the role. They'll sit there, you're my one and only, da-da-da, blase, 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 until you're ready to give it to them. And then you give it to them, and they change up on you. And you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to satisfy a dude who's been a player in these streets and you're a virgin. You're just not going to be equipped to do that yet. So like I said, for the men and the women, I would highly recommend trying to find someone who's highly spiritual or highly religious, just like you. So hit them churches up, hit them masses up, you know what I'm saying, wherever you guys gather, and try to date in there. Now be careful, because there's a lot of heathens, there's a lot of snakes and spirituality in the church too, but that's still probably the best part for you to start. I would also highly suggest, okay, now I'm never going to tell you guys when to give up your virginity or whatever. That's sacred. you give it up when you want to. But I would suggest if you're going on a celibacy or semen retention journey and you're still a virgin and you come out dating, you do that kind of young. I would not wait until much past 26ish to start getting really serious about who I'm going to date, and here's why. Everybody's a little bit weird, so I don't want to really use the word weird, but what happens is when you go on a celibacy or a semen retention journey, especially when you've never been with the opposite sex, you're naturally going to become a little socially awkward when it comes to relationships. Not everything, but just relationships. Because again, you're not living with anyone. You're not fornicating with anyone. You're not having the same experiences that a lot of people who aren't on semen retention or celibacy journeys are having. So what happens is once you decide to get back out there, you're a little bit you're green basically. You don't really know, like I said, what to do, what to grab, what to pull, what to poke, how to do necessarily conflict resolutions and things like that. It's going to take you a little bit more time probably than it's going to take everyone else to get into working into that. And because of that, the longer you wait, okay, you don't want to be 30, 35 and you're a virgin. And now all these guys out here got like 30, 40, 50 body counts. And even most of the women you hang out with, they got 30, 40, 50 body counts. And a lot of the stuff that you're going to bring up as complications or issues, no one's going to really be able to relate to that with you. They're going to be like, I don't really know what you're talking about. And like I said, you're not going to be able to carry relationships, conversations, or the sex, or like I said, even the conflict resolution or the compromise the way everyone else is, because you've been saving yourself this whole time for that one special person. So a lot of the times, like I said, with guys on the semen retention journey or women on the celibacy journey, I usually recommend trying to get hitched up or trying to find that special somebody before the age of 26. Because again, 26 or under, most people don't really have that much experience. Now women, they might have a lot, but especially men, most dudes 26 or under, they're not even in their prime yet. Most men's prime aren't to their 30s unless you were just a hot boy on the block or you were the jock athlete. So you're probably running into dudes with like 5, 6, 7, 10 body counts where they're not so far ahead of where you are that they can't really understand where you're coming from. They probably got to work on their conflict resolution too. They probably never lived with anybody either. You get what I'm saying? So the only place they really have more experience than you is just in the bedroom because they're not virgins. But other than that, they really won't. And the same thing for guys. The younger you can catch a girl, the better. You know, the younger you can catch her, the better. The less experiences she's had. You're not getting compared to 9, 7, 6-inch pipes or any of that other type of stuff. So that would be my next recommendation, trying to get it done younger, okay? But you got to understand, all right, the spiritual path is probably going to be the best, or the religious path probably going to be the best path for you. That's where you're going to be more likely to find people, okay, who's going through the same type of journey that you're going on. Because the streets is Babylon right now. The streets is Babylon. Men and women just getting it in. They sleeping with each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody bisexual now. Everybody LGBTQ plus now. Or everybody just hoes. Or they on they thought-ish. Or they out here trying to be players and max, okay? So you're not going to really find people who understand where you're coming from. And to me, that's the most important part. Because like I said, you worked for that. You're not going to really be able to get people who understand where you're coming from when you just step out into the streets like, okay, I'm a virgin. You're going to be expecting everybody to take that seriously or care. Women ain't going to care at all. That's just a fact. They going to tell y'all, they probably tell y'all in these comments that they care. They ain't going to care. The only woman who's going to care about you being a virgin is a woman who's a virgin herself. Okay, she got any type of experience, that's going to be a turn off to her. Women ask me all the time how many bodies I got to determine whether or not they even going to talk to me. So they're not going to care. Are men going to care that you're a virgin as a woman or that you've been on a celibacy journey as a woman? Yes, but it's not for you. It's for his ego. So you have to watch out for that as well, okay? Now, I'm going to do another part 2 to this. I'll have Sam come in here so she can give you a little bit more of a female perspective on it. But my biggest thing is, if it's not going to be spirituality or the church, because I don't want to drill you guys into just those places of looking for someone, find someone who's going on the same journey as you. Again, do not try to date a man or woman who's been out here swinging a salami around, or a woman who's been smuggling a salami, and you've been sitting on yours saving it for the special person. You want someone who's going to take it as serious as you take it. But that's what I think about this one. I'm Alex, and I'm out. Peace.